Sacrifice, pain, and suffering is the key to everything that you want in life. Now, I know you may not want to hear this, but this is something that you need to hear. Look, I've made over 7 figures online in my business with just one digital product, doing a little over 900K, and I had to sacrifice a lot for that. Now, I know some people might be like, oh, if he's made over 7 figures online in his business and he looks so handsome, he must have had to sacrifice somebody to join the Illuminati or something like that. No, dum-dum, not that. Even though the Illuminati, they did send me an invitation, I kindly declined because I'm already illuminated. Just look at me. But on a serious note, if you don't sacrifice for what you want, then what you want becomes the sacrifice. At the time of me recording this video, there's something very, very special in a lot of people's hearts going on here in America, in the States. And this thing that so many people love and are excited about, it really takes me back to a time in my life where I really sacrificed a lot of things in order to get what it is that I actually wanted. And this is only going to take me about 5 minutes to break down. So if you don't have 5 minutes to spare, then you'll probably never actually get to the levels that you want to in whatever your goals and aspirations and dreams are. And if you're fine with just not getting to the next level, then cool, go ahead and click off of this. But this one thing that is happening this weekend is the NFL season is kicking off. At the time of me recording this, week 1 of the NFL is about to kick off. And so many people, including myself, love to watch the sport of football. Like, there's nothing better to me than sitting down on the couch with some snacks and some drinks and just sitting on the couch and watching football with my friends and just having a good time on a Sunday. I absolutely love it. But there was this one particular Sunday where I was sitting down with my friends and I knew that I wanted to be a successful entrepreneur. And something just clicked with me. We were sitting on the couch on a Sunday and we sat there for hours and hours and hours and hours, literally all day. There's some guys that are drunk on the couch. There's some guys that are high on the couch. Some guys that are into fantasy football, and other guys are into bets and all this stuff. We're all just sitting there wasting our life watching a football game. And then it hit me and I was like, I'm sitting here and I'm broke. And I'm watching a bunch of people that have achieved their dream. And I'm sitting there and rooting for them. They don't know who I am. They ain't sitting there watching me just sit on the couch, broke, sitting there drinking with a bunch of other people that aren't achieving anything in life that they claim that they want to achieve. What the hell am I doing? I know their stats more than I know my own stats. I need to put some numbers on the board like they're putting some numbers on the board. I got up, dapped everybody up, and I left. And I didn't watch football for literally 2 entire years. People that were thinking that I was protesting the NFL. People, they thought that I was kneeling with Colin Kaepernick. They're like, you watching the game? I'm like, nah. They're like, oh, you protesting with Cap? I'm like, nah, I'm protesting being broke. I have all day on a Sunday to work on what it is that I claim that I want to do. But I'm making excuses because I'm not willing to sacrifice something that I think that I love for something that I actually want. So here's the thing about sacrificing. And you really have to understand this. Let me grab my whiteboard real quick. Here's the thing about sacrifice, right? People don't understand that it's a natural law of the universe for you to sacrifice. You have to give up something in order to get something back. The way that the universe works is that you have to exchange something. And the thing is that most people think that we can get something without releasing something, when that's literally impossible to do. Like, it's literally impossible for us to even breathe without exchanging something in return for our breath. Think about that. In order for us to take a breath, we have to give a breath. That's how the whole world works. We have to give carbon dioxide and the plants give us oxygen. It's an equal exchange. That's just a simple law of the universe. We have to be able to give something. We have to be able to sacrifice something in order to get something else in return. But here's the thing about sacrificing. A lot of the things that we have to sacrifice, a lot of the things that we actually love, it's not something that we actually want. It's something that our mind wants. And I know that this may sound really crazy and really kooky, but just listen to me on this. You have to be able to master your mind so you can understand what it is that you actually want, because you and your mind are two totally separate things. You are not your thoughts. So, and I know this sounds crazy, but this is how this works. If this is your subconscious mind, this right here is your conscious mind. But all of this subconscious right here is what is really controlling a lot of the stuff. Whereas your conscious mind, is right here. It's really not controlling too much, because just think about this. Your brain's processing power. If you were consciously controlling everything that was working in your mind right now, it would be too much to process and you would shut down. Like if you were actually controlling every single breath that you take, every time that your eyes blink, every single thing of your body, you would shut down. So all of this here of your subconscious mind is really controlling a lot of stuff. And this is what you need to understand about your subconscious mind. It has absolutely no reasoning ability, and it believes what we tell it, and it only desires to feel good. And the whole design of it is to keep us safe. Look, humans since day one have pretty much been the same up here in our brain. Our subconscious mind that is controlling everything is basically designed to just keep us safe, warm, cozy, and away from dangers. Like the way that humans think now, the way that most people think now, is some primal stuff that was basically designed to keep us safe from tigers while we were out hunting and gathering berries and whatnot, and to keep us warm, comfortable, cozy, and safe. And the way that your mind works, or your subconscious mind works, is that it basically works on a series of ones and zeros, with a 1 being something desirable and a 0 being something undesirable. So you got to think about your subconscious mind as like a dumb AI, right? And it's really, really stupid. So what I mean by this is, like, if you've ever used ChatGPT or anything like that, think about this. If you've ever used ChatGPT and you put in a prompt to ChatGPT, you will realize how dumb AI is. Like all these people talking about, oh, AI's taking over. We are so far away from AI really taking over, but you'll notice how dumb AI is, right? That's the same way that our subconscious mind is, and we're always giving it the wrong prompts, because if you use ChatGPT, the only people that are effectively using ChatGPT, they're putting the proper prompts in to get the proper feedback back, right? So once you understand this about your mind, and that your subconscious mind is really controlling everything, and it's only aiming to get these ones that make it feel good. If it feels any pain, if it feels any discomfort, if it feels any fear, it's going to register at a 0, and you are going to think that you don't actually want to do it. But no, that's not you. You need to sacrifice that thing that you think that you want and realize that you don't want it. Your subconscious wants it, not you. Because here's the thing, you have to realize that you are you. This one layer is you. This is how your mind works. On the outer layer here are your thoughts. On the outer layer here are your emotions. And on an outer layer here is your groupthink. So a lot of things that we think that we want, or a lot of things that we're scared to let go, or we're scared to sacrifice with, our subconscious is feeling emotions, right? We're emotional creatures. So that's here on the emotional level, right? But then we use our logical brain here, which is our thoughts, to justify these emotions. And then we think that we don't actually want to do something when it's not us, because we know what we actually want. But to our subconscious mind, it registers as a 0 right here. So it's going to say, nah, let's not sacrifice sitting on the couch and watching football for an entire Sunday instead of working on your business and working on the skills that you need to live a life that you want to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it, and live life on your own terms, because that's going to be painful. So let's not sacrifice this Sunday of football, and let's just sit on the couch and watch football. Those emotions kick in, then we start to justify the emotions with our logical brain and be like, well, I do deserve, it is the first week of football. It is week 1. I do deserve to sit on the couch for week 1. Like, I can't miss week 1. Then we logically justify it, and then we are one step further away from what it is that you actually want to do, because we won't sacrifice that initial pleasure, that temporary pleasure, that right now pleasure, because we don't want to feel that actual pain. So once I realized this, and I've came to this realization in every single thing that I deem as a success in my life. Everybody has a different definition of success. What I define as success may not be successful for you. But if I take it back to when I fired my job on April 1st, 2016, right? When I told myself and I made the decision to fire my job, and I like to say fire my job instead of quit my job, because I ain't no quitter. I fired them motherfuckers, right? But listen, when I made the decision, and that's a big key too, you need to make decisions over choices. You need to make decisions over choices. Because most people, what they're doing is that they're making choices, and you don't need to do that, because here's the thing with a choice has options. And when something has options, you're telling your subconscious mind that this is something that you actually don't want to do, so it's not going to work in your favor. But when you make a decision, it's definitive. You're not giving any other option to it. So your subconscious is going to get on board with you, and you are going to figure out a way to do it. When you don't give yourself an option, I'm telling you, you will be shocked at what you can accomplish when you make a decision instead of making a choice. Decisions are definitive, right? So I made a decision that April 1st, 2016 was going to be my last time working for somebody. On that day, I became mentally unemployable. And here's another thing about how your mind works and your subconscious works too. Let me know in the comments if this has ever happened to you. Have you ever been having a conversation with somebody and there's somebody's name that's on the tip of your tongue and you can't think of it in real time? You're like, I can't think of the name. I can't think of the name. It'll come to me later. And then next Tuesday, it randomly comes to you and you're like, Sheila, that was her name, Sheila, right? Has that happened to you? I know it's probably happened to all of us, right? When you introduce a problem to your subconscious, it works 24/7, 365 on coming up with a solution to the problem that you've introduced to it. That's how your mind works. That's why it just randomly comes to your mind later, because it's nonstop been working in the background without you even knowing. It's been working on coming up with a solution to that problem. So that's why I said we don't need to make choices, because we cut off all that majority brain power that's really running everything. We cut it all off because it doesn't know what problem to actually work on to come up with a solution for, because we did not give it a definitive problem to solve. It has choices. It doesn't know what to do, and it's lazy. Just wants to feel safe, cozy, warm, and so it's like, okay, that ain't what we doing, because I don't have an actual task to work on. All right. So once I made that decision, there were so many things that I had to sacrifice to get up to firing that job on April 1st, 2016. I didn't know what I was going to do for myself. I had never made $1 for myself outside of a 9-to-5 before I fired my job back on April 1st, 2016. But I did have something that I called a freedom number. I had something that I call a freedom number. My freedom number was I wanted to get this much money saved up in my bank account so I could fire my job, and I knew that I would have at least 6 months to a year to figure something out if a single dollar didn't come in. My freedom number that I wanted to have a year's worth of salary saved up. But something great happened, and I'm so thankful that this happened. I didn't get to my freedom number. Right? The reason why I didn't get to my freedom number was because I was in the car with my best friend at the time. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm thinking about firing my job, but I don't got enough money yet. I only got like $20,000 saved up in my bank account. And he looked at me like I was crazy. And he said, you got $20,000? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, bro, you ain't lying. Like you keeping it a buck. You got $20,000. And I was like, yeah, you don't? And I was thinking he was way way more successful than me. I was thinking he was up and I was down because he had a house. He had a nice car. He had a motorcycle. He had parties and get-togethers at his house all the time. He had a nice looking studio in one of his houses. I thought he was up. And he was like, nah, I ain't got nowhere near $20,000. Then right there, I was like, oh, I'm quitting my job. I'm doing way better in life than most of the people that I'm around, because I thought this was like one of the most successful people out of my friend group. And he had nowhere near the amount of money that I had at the time, right? But I realized that he didn't sacrifice, because while I was saving up money, while I was saving up to get to my freedom number to find my job, I had a $10 a week lunch budget. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this. I had a $10 a week lunch budget. Every single day for my lunch, I would take a Chef Boyardee. And here's the thing about Chef Boyardee. I would try to switch it up. I'll get the spaghetti and meatballs this time. Then I'll get the ravioli. Then I get the SpaghettiOs. They all taste the same. It's the same crap. But I would get raviolis, a Chef Boyardee. I would get a pack of lemon cookies, and I would get some type of cheap fruit, typically either bananas or grapes. And that would be my lunch each and every single week. He's saying, hey, can you hang out during this time? I'm like, nah, I'm sacrificing. I love to hang out with my friends, but I know my primary goal. I know that my primary goal, once I understand how my brain works, and once I understand that my thoughts are not me, so I have to be able to control what's going on up here. I know that the stuff that I love, I know that my goal is what's most important to me. And I'm willing to sacrifice everything to get to that actual goal. During the time I was in a very serious relationship also. She's talking about, can we do this? Can we do that? Can we hang out? Can we do that? No, I'm sacrificing right now. She's not around anymore, right? These sacrifices, I was willing to not have certain relationships with people during a certain time if they could not understand that you are not more important than my goal. There's certain family members that I cannot talk to this day. I love you, but I gotta love you from a distance, because you ain't on the same type of time that I'm on right now, and what you are into can deter me from my actual goals. And outside of that, the stuff that you say to me, I don't even want that to seep into my subconscious mind to get on this outer layer right here, which is your group think. And I don't want to get influenced by what group or what other people think. When I found my job April 1st, 2016, my pops, he called me on that Friday, and he thought he was calling me on my lunch break. He was like, yeah, what you doing? You on your lunch break? I said, nah, I quit last week. He said, you quit? Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you call me? We could have talked about it, blah, 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 blah. He was upset. I said, because I didn't need to hear your opinions about it to influence my groupthink, which would then have me feeling some type of emotional way, which then I would use my thoughts to justify those emotions. And then I probably wouldn't have quit my job or fired my job, probably to this day. Think how many times have you done something that you say that you wanted to do and you still haven't done it yet? It's because you're getting influenced by all this stuff, all these 3 layers that are outside of what you actually are. It's your subconscious. It's that dumb subconscious that is just trying to feel safe, that just wants to feel secure, that just wants to feel warm and cozy and doesn't want to get eaten by a tiger, right? Ain't no tigers outside no more. We're living in the best time ever in the entire history of the human race. It's never been easier as it is today to build 6- and 7-figure businesses and beyond for yourself. But you have to be able to sacrifice what you think you love for what it is that you actually want and what your goals actually are. And I'm telling you, it's going to be scary. I'm going to be 100% open with you right now. I'm currently going through a time that is very, very, very scary to me, because I'm doing something in my life that I've never done before. But I have to understand that this is what I want to do, and there are things that I'm currently sacrificing for that right now. My friends, I'm not hanging out with my friends as much currently. But my friends, they know that I'm in a season of sacrifice right now. I'm not saying that you have to sacrifice things for forever, but there's going to be seasons where you need to have intense focus, and you really need to sacrifice some things to get what it is that you actually want. There's certain things that I love to do. I'm not doing them right now. There's certain people that I would love to be around. I'm not doing it right now. And if they can't understand it, fuck them. My goals, I'm not going to get sidetracked by what it is that I actually want. You control this, you control everything. Most people are not in control of what it is that they actually want to do because they let their thoughts control them and not realizing that their thoughts are not them. Really, just sit there and just meditate for like 20 minutes. And I promise you, if you just sit there and just close your eyes and try not to think for 20 minutes, you will realize that you don't control your thoughts. And when I say this, I'm not saying that you don't control any of your thoughts, but you'll see the majority of them that come, you'll be like, whoa, what is that? What is going on here? The way that your brain works, it's like I said, it's just dumb and it's stupid, and it's just experiencing the world through our smell, our touch, our taste, all that type of stuff. And it just wants to be safe, and it just wants to get a bunch of these ones registered, and it wants to go away from the zeros as fast as possible. But you have to sacrifice. Most people, they're not willing to sacrifice because they want to stay at balance. And here's the thing about balance. Imagine if this was a scale. A scale at balance is a zero. There's no movement. If you want to be successful, you are always going to be out of balance. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be always tearing on the side of go, 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 go. Sometimes you're going to be balanced here, but something is going to fall off. The goal is to not be at balance. The goal is to sacrifice certain things. The goal is to master your mind, because your mind has a success mechanism. And once you get on the right frequency of your actual goals, that's how you actually start to manifest things. And every single creature on the planet has the same success mechanism. The problem is that humans, a lot of times, we're too smart for our own good, and we think ourselves out of the things that we already want to do. A bird is born being a bird. A bird does not have to ask how to be a bird. A bird does not have to ask how to fly. A bird jumps out the tree, flaps its wings, and figures it out. How does it figure it out? Because it already has that success mechanism that God has implanted in each and every single one of us. It knows how to be a bird. A shark doesn't have to go out and try to be a shark. A shark gets born, it starts swimming around, and it starts biting shit. It's a shark. You are you. But the thing is that we say that we want to do something, then we let a lot of emotions hit us, which typically is fear. Then we use the logical thinking to justify those actual fears, and then we just don't do the things that we said that we want to do because we don't want to sacrifice those things, because our brain thinks that it'll be way nicer to just do the things that we love. But most people, they live a life that they hate to live every single day, and then complain about it on Sundays when it's time to get ready to go back to live the life that they claim that they hate to live. But do you actually? What are you willing to sacrifice for? And I've sacrificed a lot of things, but it's just with this week 1 of the NFL kicking off, it just really brought back a lot of memories of a time in my life where I was like, yo, I really didn't watch football for 2 entire years, because I'm like, how can I say that I want to be a successful entrepreneur and I have all this extra time on a Sunday, and instead of working on my dreams, I'm sitting here broke, busted and disgusted, and looking at a bunch of other grown men who have accomplished their dreams. I need to put some numbers on the board just like they put some numbers on the board. And I'm telling you, once you start to actually sacrifice and you actually start to master your subconscious mind, you get numbers coming in online, your business like all them that you see on the screen right now. So if you're ready to make more working less online from stuff that you already know, go ahead and click the link down in the description. Join this credit at the top community. For weekly coaching from myself, all of my exclusive trainings, plus a private community of entrepreneurs, all designed to grow your business online. It's only $47 a month to join right now. That's less than a cup of coffee per day. So click the link down in the description to tap in, and I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. But what I want you to do is really just sit and ask yourself, what do I actually want? And what am I willing to sacrifice to get what it is that I actually want? And a lot of times you'll come to find out that you have to sacrifice yourself. And what I mean by this is this: I'm not saying that you got to go and off yourself. Please do not off yourself. But what I mean is that you have to sacrifice yourself, because the be comes before the get. A lot of people have this backwards, and they think that they can get something and then that they can be and then they can become something. But no, you have to become the person first in order to get what you actually desire. Most people, they think that they'll get something and then they can change. So I'll give you this example. Most people, they'll say, oh, once I start making X amount of money, I just use $10,000 a month as an example. Once I start making $10,000 a month, then I'll start investing into content creation and systems and automations and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, right now, you won't pay the $2.99 to remove the watermark from that little app that you're using. So why do you think when you get more money, you'll invest into your business? No, you got to start to be that now in order to get that. Other people, they say, oh, once I start making some money, oh, I'm gonna give back to the hood. I'm gonna give back to my community. I'm gonna give turkeys like Nino Brown if Thanksgiving. No, you're not, because you're stingy as hell now. So why do you think when you get more, you would be giving? No, you have to be giving now. We have to become the people now. And that's how we attract the thing. We got to get on the right frequency. And a lot of times that sacrifice is going to be yourself. So go ahead and click the link down in the description if you want to tap into the community. And I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. Now that you know what you actually got to sacrifice, check out this video right here for a strategy that made me a little less than $20,000 within a single month. It's crowded at the top.